Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to OWLET Tournament. This is your caster Hodohori, and today we've got a great mid-table matchup between Oasis Esports and Don't Envy Us. Let us take you to the match preview so that we know what maps we're playing today. Today it was a best of four on starting on Oasis, going then to Dorado, Numbani, and then finally going to Temple of Anubis. If we teams are tied 2-2 at the end, or even 1-1 at the end, we will be going to a tiebreaker on Rialto. And joining me today, casting play-by-play, is the man from Australia, the awesome Aussie. It is Razarip. How you doing?
I am great, Hodo. That is much more of an introduction that I deserve, but I'm happy to get it from you, so I'll take it.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I love to hype up my co-casters here. So as the stream knows, you have casted with me on numerous occasions, and you casted multiple finals with me. So like EnvyUS and Oasis here are going to get a treat, getting two experienced casters for the game. So let's go to the tail of the tape, and we're going to see a little bit of matchup here for Oasis and Don't EnvyUS. It is their records here on all of the map types. So as you can see, both teams with very similar records have very similar records on all of the formats too. So with Oasis, they are no better than 5-5 on both hybrid and escort, whereas they are 6-4. They are 6-4 on regular escort and King of the Hill. EnvyUS, on the other hand, has a slightly better record on assault and hybrid at 6-4, and a way even better record on escort, but it is control where they are 6-7. EnvyUS has a tendency to go into map fives, as I've casted a couple of EnvyUS matches. They aren't able to close out a lot of teams in the best of four, Raza. So that bodes sort of well for Oasis here if they can actually drag it out a little longer against EnvyUS.
Absolutely. I'm the coach of Deadlock Gang, and I was there when we got 3-2 by Don't Envy Us, and you're absolutely right. They do love those map fives, and they're pretty good at them. They close out a fair few of them.
Yeah,
Uh, I think this is gonna be a good one.
yeah.
So, what do we got next, Hodo?
So next we're just going to break down the individual maps by themselves, and it looks like here Oasis is actually good for Oasis Esports, as they are 4-2, but they are 1-1 on all of the new maps here. And EnvyUS here not looking better on Oasis. Specifically on this map, they are 2-4, so they do have a losing record on Oasis. So Oasis Esports here can take the advantage of that, but they are 1-1 on both Dorado and Anubis, and 2-0 on Numbani. So if it's me and I'm Oasis Esports, I would like to get the jump on EnvyUS here on the first map.
I think you're absolutely right. Just that one map head start can really make a difference, not only in the score, but momentum. If you can carry the positive vibes and the mentality through to maps 2, 3, and 4, it can really make a world of a difference in your performance as a team.
That's absolutely right. And so let's go to the group standings here. And this is a match here in I think it's the Snowy division, right? So therefore,
That is correct.
that is so. And Don't EnvyUS here, 3-1 in the Snowy division. Whereas it looks like uh, excuse me, don't excuse me, as I'm going to Oasis here. Oasis Esports also 3-1, so they are actually matched up really, really well here at 3-1. So it is a top of the table matchup here in the Snowy division. But if you look at the overall standings, Oasis Esports is at 6-4, and EnvyUS are actually 5-5. So this is a very important match when it comes to overall standings and that playoff cutoff, which EnvyUS sits below the game right now. So therefore, they need this match more than Oasis does. Oasis will drop to 6-5, but EnvyUS would then go up to 6-5 if they don't win. If Oasis don't win this match. So it looks like both teams are ready, and we're about to get started here. Final thoughts here on the Raza on the matchup today.
I think it's going to be a good one. I've seen Don't Envious play. They have a better map differential. I'm going to be rooting for them, if I'm going to be honest. I think they're going to take it. But I guess we'll find out. It's going to be a tight one regardless, I think. I do believe we'll be seeing map 5.
Yeah, and shout out to our admin and match referee. I don't know how to say his name. It's P before you leave. So P before you leave.
I think you nailed it.
I think I did. I think I might have too. So it will be EnvyUS in red here as we join everybody here in Oasis. If I can actually get my stream up, there it is. EnvyUS in red, Oasis in blue, and off we go. Looks like I'm getting a couple of messages here in chat. LifeLocks.
Alrighty. And let's have a look at these comps as they come up. It looks like EnvyUS might be looking to run the dive here with a Winston Diva, which is an interesting decision. We've seen a lot of dive kind of formulate itself in OWLET in the later stages. Most teams have stuck to the death ball while they get to know each other, but we've been seeing more dive recently as teams start to experiment and try new things. On the flip side, it looks like Oasis will be sticking with a pretty classic death ball. They will be running the Lucio for the speed boost though.
Yeah, they're running the Lucio with the speed boost, but I don't know if they'll stick to the Lucio to the speed boost. Maybe they just use it for the boost to get out, to get onto the point, because it is sort of important to here to get onto the point and make sure that you get initial control here on Gardens. But with 26 seconds here to go, I'm looking like I don't see any sort of hit scan on the side of Don't Envious here, and with Fluffy going with the Pharah here, could that be an advantage here for Oasis?
Right. I think it definitely could be. It's going to be on Don't EnvyUS to complete their dive and get a pick or two before the Pharah can have too much of an impact. If they can't do that, the Pharah's going to walk all over them.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So here we go. Both the teams going to come out, and it looks like here, and it looks like very slowly here, and they're going to stay with that Lucio. So Grip is actually going to stay out there, Raza.
Alright, and Don't EnvyUS is going to go around the side to try to get onto the high ground. Tracer's up there, but Fluffy's going to put out some pot shots looking for ult charts. Tracer is already in the backline, using the recall just to stay alive. The dive tanks are up on high ground, but they're not diving on anything yet. This is the greatest dive. You're going to move, guys. And Brute Boy with a big charge onto Diva. Party Roost is already low. He's going to try to fight away to safety. His Mercy's going to be there to keep him up. Tyler's doing a lot of work in the backline, but look at that. 3 picks in a row. That's Diva, the Mech, and Monkey gone already. So this is just clean up right now for Oasis. Pick off the pick. That'll be the point capped.
Yeah, they actually did a really good job there coming around. Oasis coming through, but EnvyUS should have sort of jumped on them when they were in that little hallway, when they saw them trying to sort of wrap to the high ground, but it seems like that they were trying to do the same thing and get to the high ground and control it too. And that's where the main fight sort of happened, but BritBoy using his aggressiveness there, taking out the main tank, and was able to sort of establish themselves here on the point. Now, good job here by them. Now, it'll be interesting to see how EnvyUS tries to take this and see if the dive is still as effective.
And there's a jump on the high ground, but there's no target there, unfortunately. D-Seals are going to go down, the healers go down, big dragons, and Panda is carrying around now with 3 picks. Brute Boy is just swinging hard, because what else can he do at this point? And Sinful's going to take a long walk off the short cliff.
Yeah, the long walk off the short cliff. That dragon actually opened it up for him. Panda there did a great job, just sort of dragoning right into the opening, and basically not even needing to sort of aim. That was really just sort of to separate the team out and just keep the rest of the people outside of the map here. Tyler is actually coming around, and he's actually going to try to see flank around, but it's going to be hard for him with them on the high ground. There's really nothing that he can sort of attack. He's going to have to take the long way to get up there, but it looks like here the dive is already on.
There's the dive, and the Tracer was there perfectly in time. Tyler's putting out so much damage right now, and he's got his ult, so he's going to look to use that soon. Bripboy's going to try to counter with his Shatter. The Seals is low, but the Valkyrie's there to keep him alive, but not long enough. He goes down, and Fluffy's going to fill his ult out. They want to win this fight. He does get the mech, and he gets the Genji, but is killed in the process. The most killing wasn't enough to keep him up. Grip is trying to stall on point, but it's going to go down immediately, and we will see the point capped for Don't EnvyUS.
Yeah, it was a good point. It was a good point cap there, but they've already given up about 77%. So EnvyUS here has got to be sort of careful and make sure that they don't let Fluffy do too much. That barrage actually did take 2, and it started to look a little grim there at the very end, but they were able to sort of take it here. And now, as it looks like now, Oasis is just sort of stalling up, making sure that they can sort of attack clean. And it looks like they're wrapping around again here. Yeah, they're doing the exact same thing as they did initially in getting the high ground.
That's right, the Blade's going to come in soon. I can feel it. Simple's looking for one in the back line, but that's the ult that's going to come out of it just to keep him alive. So the Genji can't use his ult yet. He does go down in the process. That's a tank down on the other side though while Genji's res. Picks are coming out from both sides, but just looking like this one might be going to Don't EnvyUS. They have the numbers right now. Peppermint gets a big kill, and the fight was over as quickly as it began.
Yeah, they lost Sinful at the beginning of the match. Beginning of the fight on this map, and he immediately got res, but the rest of the team was able to just sort of hold them off here. And good job by the rest of the team. Good stuff by Extreme Meme, keeping the rest of the team up and getting the res off. So not focusing on the Mercy there really sort of cost Oasis Esports. As soon as they got that kill, they should have gone immediately for the Mercy and prevent Sinful from being up. But now Sinful still with the Blade here is going to be super dangerous.
Yeah. Look out for that grab dragon. It's going to be coming any second as soon as Skeleton gets his thing. And there's the dragon coming out, and the grab is there as well, but Skeleton gets killed as it comes through. The dragon is not going to get anything. Simple's just going to clean house, and that was a very swift push. And there wasn't a dragon, sorry. That was the Blade coming out. Yeah, I don't know my jump.
It was the Dragon Blade, Raza. Ha ha ha. So therefore, this is down to basically one fight left. I mean, EnvyUS has really just got to sort of hold them off here, and that's going to do it. So we just gotta need to make sure that they have, it looks like, both support ups and a Diva Bomb here, so they definitely have enough time to sort of clear it out. Dragon's going to try to get them right off the top here as they engage. And I don't think they've gotten a kill yet.
A big charge in to take the D-Seals very low. The Mercies are up in the air with the Valve to keep the killing right, but the team's not close enough to get the maximum utility out of that. That's a shadow out of Britboy, and then Diva Bomb as well, also coming out from both sides. Peppermint's still holding onto that trend, so he wants to use that to mitigate as much damage as he can from Fluffy's ult. But Sinful and D-Seals getting the picks. He might need to pop that trend soon if he wants to keep his team alive any longer. There it is. Fluffy uses the ult but gets destroyed by that guy Tyler. It's not a bad trade, especially given that D-Seals has killed the Mercy now. And look at that. That's an easy cleanup fight for them. Yes.
You know, Oasis didn't, like, once they got control, they were holding it pretty well. And Fluffy on that Pharah didn't seem like it was contributing any much during the retakes. Even though they probably had a better comp out there than EnvyUS. EnvyUS looked like more of a team fighting together, which was better for them in the end. That it sort of negated Fluffy's contribution. You saw Fluffy at the end there contributing 2 extra kills there at the end, but was just unable to do any more damage on the rest of Don't EnvyUS, and I think it sort of cost them the match here. They're going to stay with the Pharah, which I think if that's what they're comfortable playing, will have an advantage here. They just need to be able to focus together and get the kills down together here, as opposed to being sort of separated out here on the point and fighting individual targets.
That's absolutely right. They're going to need to focus targets far better. And Fluffy needs to stop playing Fuffy, not Fluffy. Needs to stop playing quick play, work with the team. And Tyler's already doing some damage getting ult charge, and he gets killed immediately for his arrogance. Look at that. We now have 2 pharmacies in the air, and Simple's looking for picks. That's the second pick now for Oasis. D-Seals is down, Tyler is down. This is when you need to push in hard. D-Seals is going to get res though, and Simple goes down to the Kenji. That's going to feel bad. There is no cohesion from either team right now, no target focus, but it looks like EnvyUS is backing out. They're going to give this point for Oasis.
Yeah, that was a good job there. Fluffy taking out Extreme Meme there at the end, just sort of staggering the Mercy there is actually a great kill. So therefore now they have control again. They don't want to end up doing what they did before, which was basically sort of sitting on the point, giving a lot of points, and then like losing it at a really bad section of the map. They're going to try to sort of stick together here. Britboy here now on the Winston, as opposed to the Reinhardt before, is actually, I think it looks like a better pick just because of the need for them to get to the high ground here, and they already get 2 kills.
That's clean, yeah, and that guy Tyler is just contesting point, but he's getting chased off so well by the team. The peel is there. That was very swift. Fluffy is doing real well now. He's got 93% ult, so we're going to probably be seeing that next fight, but Sinful has switched to McCree.
Yeah, Fluffy's just got to be careful, though, because like as soon as he barrages, he's just a sitting duck. So maybe Skeleton comes up and maybe sort of uses that defense matrix as he's up in the air, maybe give him an extra second or 2 before he gets wiped out. But they've been doing really, really well here, so keeping the high ground, and that Winston has helped a lot with the aggressiveness, because before when they were on the Reinhardt, they didn't have the mobility I think that they needed on that map. So therefore, here they come again.
And there it is, the darts coming through on EnvyUS, but the tanks are not together. Party Rooster does get one. Blade's going to come out, and there's no peel for healers right now because the tanks are everywhere. But no, the healers have run away. Penny's got no targets. Oh, he finds Tyler, who's in the wrong place at the wrong time. Fluffy's going to get res, so this fight's going to keep on going. Fluffy's got his ult. He's probably going to save it when this fight is over. They just need to stagger those picks out.
Yeah, they do. They absolutely do. It's just, they should probably just go back now. Considering it's already at 80%, they're in bad shape here on City Center. They want to make sure that they just can get a full-fledged attack before they go in. The key here for EnvyUS is to make sure that Extreme Meme saves that Valkyrie either for the engage or when they're in deep, deep trouble. But now it looks like they preemptively popped it as they sort of go in.
And look at that, Fluffy uses ult but gets destroyed immediately by the damage boosted McCree. And now the ult's come out from Grip to keep the team alive, but Fluffy was too late, too dead. Pando gets a pick of his own, but it's going to be immediately rezzed as well. And it's a brawling point right now, even-ish numbers. Simple dies again to the Genji. That's going to feel bad. Diva's going to throw the bomb and look for anything he can, but Party Rooster gets nothing. He does get his mech back, but that might be enough if you knock out the Winston who's putting damage to him. Skeleton's going to try to show him how it's done. He gets nothing as well. Diva bombs are rough on Oasis. No, he does get Party Rooster's mech. He just got back. That's rough, and we have no ults right now for either side apart from Peppermint's ult, which he might want to use to keep his team alive. He is very low, but he dies before he can use it, which is very bad. Now Fluffy and Party Rooster are trying to 1v1 each other, and no one is winning right now. Peppermint gets res, so now he has another chance to use his ult. Tyler's probably going to pull out that pulse from any second now as well, because he knows he needs to win this fight. This is it, and the numbers are all going towards Zone EnvyUS. They have the picks, they just need to finish off Tyler. Throw the ult in, he throws it at the Zen. No, the Lucio, but he gets nothing, unfortunately. Simple does manage to get a pick on Fluffy, and the point will be capped by Zone EnvyUS.
There was a slight error there on that fight. Skeleton, Skeleton, excuse me, was protecting Panda on the ground, but did not look at the fact that there was a Mercy rezzing right behind him. If they were able to sort of focus on that Mercy during that sort of try, they may have been able to stagger her during that fight and maybe been able to do it on a retake here. Now they've got a harder job, as now they're already engaged here and trying to hold and take back this point.
That's right, and Britboy with a big charge, but the ults come out of these steals just to kind of stall. Peppermint dies with the trance again, that's going to be rough. Britboy's just swinging hard, but there's no one really there to help him. But there's a follow-up. Doomfist does go down, Peppermint goes down again without using the trance. Come on, buddy, you're going to throw it out eventually. And this is such a quick retake for Oasis. They're going to use the Lucio ult just to cement it as well. This is final fight, so it's not going to matter that much at all.
Yeah, they just need a body block at this point. If they can prevent them from coming onto the point. Great Earth Shatter there to catch the Doomfist before he came out. That is how you use, that's how you save it there at the end, Britboy. Good stuff. So now, 1-1 to both teams. A little bit of adjustment there. Britboy going to the Reinhardt there at the very end. Probably did it just so that he was seeing what was sort of going on. Didn't actually, once they lost the point, they didn't need to use the Winston, and the Reinhardt's just better on the ground to attack. So good recognition there by the tank main for Oasis Esports. And now we go to a map which is very Reinhardt Zarya combination heavy, and it is the university here for Oasis, and that's what we see, Reinhardt Zarya from both sides here.
And if you look at Oasis's comp, you'll see that they're running Goats, which is 3 tanks and 3 supports. So they're going to try to yeet into EnvyUS as fast as they can and as aggressively as they can. Meanwhile, Sinful, he switched to Doomfist for the speed, but he's going to stay on it for another map. And let's have a look. The EnvyUS are on point. The Goats comp is going to charge right in. Britboy gets nothing with it, unfortunately, but puts him close enough distance and starts swinging the hammer. He steals is the one with the first pick, though, and Britboy is all the way in the backline, swinging at the healers. He's not with his team right now, trying to regroup, and his team's going to suffer for lacking a shield there. He's going to go for a big charge, but Sinful's going to block that and allow his Reinhardt to get the charge in instead. Look at that teamwork. Britboy goes down, and Skeleton's going to be the next to die as soon as that shield goes down. And EnvyUS caps point first.
Yeah, that was more of an engage error on the side of Oasis. They needed to sort of stick together, but you were absolutely right. Them losing Britboy, being separated out from the rest of his team, just did not help. You want to make sure that the communication is right there on the engage, and they just sort of messed it up there a little bit. So now they're going to have to pay for it. Now, as it looks like, as EnvyUS here, being aggressive, trying to sort of hold the doors and prevent them from coming in clean, which is what you sort of want to do, but you want to make sure, as a team, you don't get split, and that's what that Dragon does in order to get the team sort of out of the way.
Ooh, and it's D-Seal's turn to be aggressive now with a big charge onto Fluffy, and then that guy Tyler's going to follow up as well. He just used ult because you're going to have another one in about 30 seconds and keeps this up. Peppermint dies with ult again, but Britboy goes and throws a shatter, and it's a bit too late regardlessly because the rest of his team is dead. Skeleton's going to die on his own again, and that'll be another quick push over for Oasis.
Yeah, and EnvyUS did a really, really good job there. That Dragon didn't really take out anybody, but it forced Oasis to go into that narrow hallway, and you just saw it was D-Seals basically just taking out the Brigitte, and now they've actually switched as Puffy has now gone to the McCree here, so they're going to switch off the sort of Goats comp and sort of go with a standard 2-2-2 here as they sort of try to engage in and try to sort of mess around and need to retake.
Ooh, big Doomfist ult onto Hamlin, who accidentally flew through it, which was a shame. Britboy is going to try to charge away. Sinful is just in the backline getting kill after kill. He's getting pocketed by both healers, so he just won't die. It doesn't matter how many arrows Panda puts into him, especially with him Peppermints in the backline, just shooting those little orbs.
Yeah, Oasis here is in trouble. I mean, they've already given up 80%. They cannot lose this fight. EnvyUS has the onus on them. They can be aggressive here if they can get a kill.
Yeah, there's no Diva. Party Rooster is going to throw the grab out any second. We're going to see the grab Dragon from that guy Tyler and Party Rooster. There it is. That's the grab. Gets everyone, and the Dragons are going to come through, but he misses. He
missed it! Oh my god!
He does manage to die in response, and finally Peppermint uses the trance to counter the Dragons. But look at this. The picks are all coming out, but no. That guy Tyler says, not today. This is my point. He's already halfway to another Dragon. He's getting kill after kill. Simple's getting kill on Mercy, which is a big one. And Britboy and Skeleton are doing the best they can to stay alive on point. Moira is trying to stall as much as she can, but it's not going to be enough. That will be the map for Don't Envy Us.
Oh, they got lucky there. They didn't lose the point with that miss on the Dragon. I'm not exactly sure how they missed that. Was there... it seemed like to me, I think maybe somebody was actually distracting Tyler and he just sort of flicked it over to the right, and therefore just missed the grab in the doorway instead. But here we have Fuffy here using the Pharah, getting a big thing. Oh, what a midair kill!
That's insane. Look at that aim.
Well, we knew this one was going to be tight, though, right? I mean, like, this was not going to be a game that, like, both teams were not going to be out of it. I mean, both EnvyUS and Esports there went to the wire, going to a third map there. So now it is EnvyUS here up 1-0 here on Oasis Esports. So as we go into the next map.
Even our first map was just so back and forth. If that's what the rest of the match is going to be like, we're in for a treat today. That was so tight.
Yeah, I think this is going to be what we're going to be expecting from both teams. I mean, like, you saw the records, you saw what they were sort of doing on each of these maps. These are not maps that like that each team have really bad sort of bad scores on. These are maps that are very, very good for each team. So therefore, it's going to be one of those things, I think, that it's going to be one of those things that we're just going to have to watch out as to what mistakes both teams are going to commit, because that is, I think, going to be key. So like something like missing the dragon on a grab or something like that is going to be, I think, the real issue here for both teams. When we come back, it will be Dorado. So EnvyUS here up 1-0 here on Oasis Esports. Dorado is our next map. Stay tuned.
Could always use more heroes.
We are back, and do I have this right? I just want to make sure. Looks like, do I have the over... Looks like Brit
I
Boy.
think we have red is Oasis Esports, so I think that's...
There we go. So there it is.
Looking-
Red is Oasis. Bingo. So they are on offense first. And welcome to Dorado, everyone.
Welcome. Yes, the best payload map in Overwatch. Alrighty, and we already have the team comps coming up, so I want to take a little squiz at those. That guy, Tyler, versus Panda on the Widow 1v1. Okay, who's going to win it, Odo?
I don't know. Tyler is a good Widow. So from what I've seen of the statistics, I think Tyler is pretty good. But I think Panda's going to have a little harder push here because he's going to need to sort of position himself. I'm going to be interested if Panda goes for the long flank initially and tries to get behind the team and see if he can get a surprise on them trying to sort of break. That's what I would try to do if I'm sort of Panda Bear. Try to get a surprise on Tyler, because Tyler probably going to sort of camp out either here up at the top and then rotate over here to the top of the doorway at the end of point A, which is normally your typical Widow positions. If I'm the offensive Widow, I try to see if I can sort of get behind the entire team at the very start, just initially, and try to outflank the Widow and try to get Tyler out of position before he can sort of settle in on top of the doors. But that's just
Okay.
I'm an aggressive Widow, so that's just me.
Tyler's also going to have to try to deal with Fuffy, who's going to be playing the Genji.
Mhm.
If Fuffy can do his job, Tyler's going to have to switch, because he won't be able to contest the Genji and the Widow.
Which is
But-
why I think you want the aggressive flanker. You want to get around Fuffy, because Fuffy's main job is going to be just up in Tyler's face and trying to just sort of disrupt anything that the Widow is doing. So
That's right, and we have very similar comps from each side, but with the Hanzo and Sinful rather than the Genji. And just classic death ball on both sides. It's going to be a tough one for the defenders. They're going to need to drop down correctly, but I think that this first point will be decided by first pick.
So it looks like here, as they sort of moving in, Party Rooster is going to need to try to get this sort of grab up quickly, because they're going to try to move, and because they want to trap him in the doorway here, but Panda gets the best of Tyler there. So offensive Widow,
Yeah.
first blood.
Yeah, Fuffy gets one for his own as well. Sinful is going to get reds, but they are still down Tyler. So this is where Oasis needs to push. They have the pick, the Mercy's low, they need to go in now. Brickboy is going to start swinging, but he's going to go down. But no, Panda managed to get Sinful again. The aggressiveness can come back. Brickboy is full. Go, push, press W, Brickboy, be the tank you're always meant to be. He's going to do a fire strike in, and Fuffy is going to get a little deflected. They're not being super aggressive right now, but here it is. Zen is low in the back. Can they get Peppermint? No, Pseudo is going to go down first. Peppermint escapes with his life. That's a big charge that hits Party Rooster just as he uses his bubble to stay alive, and DC's will go down. Panda is doing an insane amount of work for this team right now. But the aggressiveness is just not there at all right now for Oasis. Peppermint gets that pick, which is instantly res. Tyler's up on the roof doing whatever he likes. And the aggressiveness, let's go. Britboy, he has Shadow, he wants to start looking for it right now. He's going to go for a charge and not hit anyone. But he's got the bubble, he can start swinging right now. There's the Shadow right into the shield, but it still gets Party Rooster somehow. D-Seals is so close to his Shadow as well, but he's going to get knocked out by Britboy first before it can happen. Fluffy with the blade just to clean things up, gets 2. Widow with a cleaning up pick as well, and that'll be it. Very swift.
Oasis made it hard for themselves. You were absolutely right about them not being aggressive. Their whole team should have gone up and been attacking all the Pleepers, all of the people on EnvyUS as a 6-man group. They were allowing sort of Britboy to just be as aggressive as he was and supporting him. That's great, but they needed that DPS help from both Puffy and and Abyssal, I think, even on the Zen, because you are an off healer, doesn't necessarily mean you don't have to kill anybody and stay back there and be safe. There was really nobody that was going to actually attack them, so Abyssal could have been a little bit more aggressive, get in front of the payload and attack more, but now it looks like they're just trying to make space for themselves as Panda Bear taking the best of that fight between Tyler and him.
Yeah, that's a big flank. He's all the way behind the team. There's no one really to contest him. Sinful's going to start looking for him, but Fluffy's going to just poke some damage out to try to help out his buddy on Panda. Fluffy does get the pick on D-Seals now, so Sinful's still taking the 1v1 with Panda, but meanwhile there's a brawl on point. It's just Party Rooster versus all of Oasis Esports, and a big res, and they're going to let it happen. D-Seals is back up, and he has his shadow. He shouldn't be using it here, he needs to back out, and he will. This is not a fight that EnvyUS can win. They're going to have to back out and give this one to Oasis.
Yeah, good aggressiveness there by Panda. He must have been listening to my to the commentary he's giving pre-game or what. But being aggressive there on that flank is going to be super important here. Now Panda, these aren't necessarily a good sight line here for a Widow, but he's probably going to sort of stay with it because of the sight. So like it'll be interesting to see where he sort of sets up and tries to sort of pick off people from enemies.
That's right, and Tyler had been slightly staggered, so he's only going to be coming back now, and that's the grab. He's only going to get one, and Brickboy is going to use that opportunity to big charge in, but the Trance is out for Pepin for probably the first time this match, and the ults are going to come through from Party Rooster and Sinful next. They're going to go for the grab dragon right now. There it is, everyone's in the grab. Don't miss this time, Sinful, and he won't. Look at that. That's 5 people just to finish this fight. Pepin's going to get rezzed, but
and that's going to do it. Yeah, that's going to be one of those things in which no missing on that grab dragon. They were sitting ducks right there. I think you would have had to have like a mouse error or a keyboard error to miss that. So good stuff there by EnvyUS. They finally get a stop here, but that is not boding well for them right now, though, because there is 4 minutes here left on the clock. They're going to be able to push here, but this is the hardest section of all of Dorado, so they're going to need a lot of kills. Oasis is just in order to sort of push through properly. And it looks like Puffy with the Dragon Blade.
The Shadow's probably going to come in to follow that blade off. There it is. D-Seals gets it in, and he manages to get a charge into Brickboy, but he's still alive thanks to the bubble and healing. Puffy gets 1 pick, but with the Valve coming out, it looks like Triamater is going to be staying alive for a bit longer. Fluffy's already like in that Reinhardt's face, and he's won. D-Seals is so low, but they just can't finish him off. There it is, they finally get him. The walls have come out, but Panda is dead. Got deflected, I think, by Sinful, which was excellent. But it's a brawl on point. The target focus isn't there for Oasis, and Don't EnvyUS is using that to their advantage and cleaning up. That guy Tyler getting shot after shot in. Fluffy's the last one on point. He's got to run away, but he's probably going to get staggered pretty badly here if they can finish him off.
They had no idea that Tyler was behind them, boosted with a Mercy. They were following in, trying to kill D-Seals and everybody else that was trapped in that room, and they just allowed Tyler and the Mercy to sort of flank behind them and just pick them off like that they were just cattle in a field. That was so good by Tyler, just being able to just sort of kill them off, and now that truck is now stuck underneath that sort of mini bridge, which is sort of gives them a little bit of cover and shielding here as Oasis are going to have to try to engage. They're doing the right thing here, I think, going for the high ground and just sort of trying to descend on them, and they're being given the space, which is surprising here by EnvyUS, but it looks like Sinful goes down.
That's it, Tyler's in the backline trying to take a 1v1 with Panda, and the Shadow comes through, but it's blocked beautifully by D-Seals. This is when D-Seals needs to be aggressive. Tyler does get the pick on Brickboy, so now Don't EnvyUS can just clean up. There's no main tank for Oasis, that's the one.
Yeah.
And they're new to this, they're using the Valk, and they're going to throw out Fluffy's Blade as well, but the Trance has come out as well. That's 3 ults they've invested into this fight. That guy, Tyler and Sinful, have both DPS ults if they want to use it. They probably want to save it for the grab. Fluffy with 2 picks now. Abyssal going to get one of his own. Party Rooster's red, so they can use the combo if they need, and there it is, the grab comes through. It only gets D-Seals. Did it get deflected? No, Pseudo used his, not Party Rooster, my bad, and D-Seals is down. This is going to be an easy cap unless they can throw this grab out right now. Party Rooster needs to just chop it on point wherever he is. And it's contested, and Sinful's got his blade out. Tyler hasn't used his. There it is. The Dragons are coming out, but Sinful's already got 4 kills. And Tyler's Dragons isn't going to be touching anything.
Yeah, that was pretty insane there. Good hold there by EnvyUS. Desperation stuff, though, as it looks like they had to sort of pop everything that they had to sort of get there at the end. Sinful saving their bacon there with a 4 kill at the end there. And now they've whittled down this 4 minutes down to about 1:27. And Oasis here has got to think of something. They're out of ults. They're going to have to depend here on both Puffy and Panda to actually get any kills. The Widow there not necessarily doing very much. I think they might have switched back. I'm not sure what the thinking is here for the Widow, but it looks like the engage has started here with no kills really, but Pseudo getting connect.
That's right. And DCL is going to be looking for his Shadow right now. He's probably not going to use it now that they're up a pick. No, now he will be using it. That's 2 picks for Panda. So DCL is going to be shattering, but no, gets blocked by the charge from BritBoy. That was brilliant. That's 3 kills in a row. All headshots, 4 kills. All headshots, 5 kills. All headshots now from Oasis. And they're just going to walk this one home. The only one who can contest is Sinful. The Sinful is going to get shredded. No, he's not. He's going to get bubbled, so he's going to stay alive for a little bit longer, and that's enough time for Party Rooster to get the point. And now, they might be able to stall this out. Tramonder's going to use that just to stay alive. The trance is out from Zen to stay alive while he gets to the point. The blade is through, but it's not going to kill anyone more. Party Rooster does get rezzed. Thanks to the healing from Peppermint, the Mercy managed to stay alive. He is dead now, but he was alive long enough, and that will be it finally.
EnvyUS could write a book on how to stall, because that's exactly what they did there. Pretty much for all of the end of at the end of Numbani, they did a pretty decent job at it, killing off about 3 minutes 30 seconds. But it was just one of those issues that they kept having. That was Oasis. It was mostly self-inflicted, as Oasis just having trouble focusing. It seems like, because like BritBoy had gone in to sort of stall, and that allowed sort of Sinful to sort of just hang around the point, just to jump around on that Genji, and like, you know, there were 4 people just sort of trying to kill him, but there was just nobody actually doing it. So that, you know, that killed off a little bit more time, and then they were able to get the Zarya in, that killed a little more time. So it's just one of those things. I think that if Oasis can get their sort of focus fire in a little bit better in this match, I think that's going to be the big thing for them to sort of overcome EnvyUS.
I think you're absolutely right. And I want to point out Party Rooster's grabs, because every one of them have been very influential. At least 3 or 4 people, and always comboed with a DPS ult, unless someone misses the dragon. So Party Rooster's been hitting those big grabs, and I think they're winning a lot of fights off that. Oasis Esports needs to recognize that the grabs are coming out, and they need to either trance them, or just avoid getting caught by them, because they're losing too many fights to Party Rooster grabs.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then Abyssal, all Abyssal needs to do is just not use the Transcendence ever until they think that Party Rooster is going to be using that grab. So therefore, you don't want to preemptively do it, so you just basically save it to kill all of the ults there. So if that means letting Sinful kill you with his dragon, then you do it, because then there's nothing that you can sort of do about it, because Sinful's main job will be to sort of get Abyssal's trance out, so that they can sort of grab and kill. So that'll be that'll be the game that pretty much everybody's going to be playing here. So like, when does Abyssal use Transcendence here? So and if they're aggressive enough, if they can sort of bait it out, then they're going to end up winning this fight. If they don't, then EnvyUS is not going to have as much joy as they can here with the grab dragon.
That's absolutely right. And we just have hope. Peppermint is going to go to half. There's the Widow flank. Panda is behind the team. He is just taking some shots, getting his ult charge. And Peppermint sends an orb right into his head. That is unfortunate. So now this is the chance to be aggressive. They're missing a DPS. BritBoy is trying to swing as hard as he can, but he has to back out because he's getting low. D-Seals, you can swing real hard right now. You've got this big charge from BritBoy. But it looks like D-Seals won't go down. He's going to get bubbled and healed by his team. Pseudo's discorded. He's going to get real low, and he gets killed by Party Rooster. That guy Tyler with one of his own. So now it's a 6v4. Sinful gets a pick, and Panda's up top trying to do whatever he can, but it won't be enough because the rest of his team is dead. Sinful's going to say hi, and that guy Tyler is going to steal the kill. And that was an easy first point take for doing EnvyUS.
EnvyUS looked a lot better on the sort of offensive side of the game when it comes to sort of pushing in and making sure that they're aggressive here. So Sinful actually is going to be charging in here and trying to sort of get the high ground, which is exactly what they should be doing. BritBoy has actually decided to not set up on the high, but instead on the ground here, which is going to then allow EnvyUS here to have tons of space. They're going to be allowing the sort of Tyler and Sinful to sort of camp up there and just sort of rain on them. So that's going to be problematic for them, that they're going to have to realize. But Tyler goes down to Panda.
They counter it somehow. That's what matters. Sinful's all in the back line trying to take out Panda, some revenge for killing his friend. Panda gets a bad grapple and falls to the ground, and that's the shadow coming out from D-Seals, and it doesn't get anything, unfortunately, but there it is, the blade from Sinful. He's already halfway, he needs to heal him, he doesn't get it, he dies, and it was a little bit late. Fluffy is dead, but Abyssal uses the trance, and that should help him win the rest of this fight. Another shadow right into a shield. Let's work on those boys. Meanwhile, DCeals is going to go low. If you are Oasis, be aggressive now. You have the pick. Trimeter goes down, but Brookboy doesn't want to do it. He won't move forward. Finally, he chucks one out, and there it is. The transfer coming out from Pepin as well. They want this fight, and they're going to invest into it. Party Rooster has the grab, so they might be using this grab in combination with Fluffy's ult as soon as they can. Tyler gets his revenge for Sinful's death, and here it is. There's no regrouping for either team. They're going to take the 4v4 right now. No. I was wrong. Oasis is going to wait in the wings.
Well, watch for the grab here from Party Rooster. He's going to go for it.
Yeah. And there it is, big grab dragon, and that guy Tyler's going to throw the dragons in, and he will not miss. Look at that. Easy picks, and that was another quick take.
Yeah, well, what happened there was the fact that Party Rooster was taking forever to get his grab up, but they ended up winning that fight, which then transferred over to winning them the point because he didn't have it when they were coming around the corner. He finally got it just as they came around the corner, and and Tyler, who was very patient with his ult, didn't use it, so it ended up winning them point B. Really
Speaking of grab dragon, Toto, look at that. That's another one, and look at that. They're not going to miss this one either. 3 kills, and Pseudo finishes off the last one.
Well, it's a battle of trances, so that's what happens.
Yeah, absolutely is. They both wasted the chances earlier, and they're both suffering for it now. Sinful gets a pick, and is he going to escape? He's all in the back line. He's trying to be sneaky. Let's go down.
And he goes down to Puppy. But, okay,
what can you do?
Oh, I don't know. But this is what we were talking about when it comes to a battle of trances. So both teams actually ended up using their transcendences in bad times. Essentially, like, using the trance there to on the Dragon Blade is exactly what EnvyUS wanted on their offense. But at the same time, EnvyUS using their trance preemptively to try to take point B cost them any sort of push here on point C. So now the engage comes back in now.
Ooh, and look at that. We're going to see the shadow come out very soon from DCeals. He's looking for it, especially after those 2 picks, and he puts it right into Britboy's shield. And no, Bizzle is going to use the trance just to try to keep his Reinhardt alive. And there's the shadow, picks off 3. Can they follow up though? Trimeter's using the Valve just to stay alive, and look at that. Simple says, alright, let's just blade it. Gets a pick, gets a second pick. DCeals gets one of his own, and it's just Pseudo who is going to go down as well. And there is a chance to here.
Yeah, it's lights out here for Oasis, so they're in trouble. So this payload is moving, and it's almost there. And then looks like another dragon here, just basically to keep him in spawn.
But it's going to pick up 2. Peppermint gets 1. Wow, that was a great zoning dragon to end that round.
Very good zoning dragon there by EnvyUS, and they only got stopped once. So therefore, they're going to have an enormous amount of time here on their time bank. Look at that, 4:07 versus 1 minute from Oasis here. And it basically boiled down to, like, who was able to stop who and when. And unfortunately, Oasis was stopped on their point C cap so many times here by EnvyUS that it's now given them a 4:07 time bank here on Dorado, which is just gigantic. Oasis needs to keep moving here, and they cannot stop. So they had real issues here closing out the fight in point A. They can't have that again. They need to get through this mini choke, and they need to get aggressive and focused, and they need to use overtime to their advantage, meaning that they need to pick up any kills they can once overtime hits because of the way that the respawns work in overtime. You get that extra sort of 3 seconds to 5 seconds that you get to sort of build up in overtime, and you can use that to sort of stall a team out and keep your push going, because you're up against such a tremendous time bank that you want to make sure that, like, even if you're going to kill somebody, you might want to wait a second or 2 for overtime to sort of start to tick and then kill them, and then you get that sort of extra bonus there, and you can open up a team big time here on offense.
Absolutely right. And if I'm Oasis, I will be running a Bastion strat here. But we can see Sinful's on the yellow building. He's looking for Panda, who he knows is looking for a flank. And he sees him. Sinful's going to try to take out the Widow right here. And he's not going to do it, unfortunately. He's going to get real low, and he's going to have to try to back out. And that's rough. Meanwhile, the cart is moving. Sinful's going to back out, grab a health back. That was great peel there by Oasis. And now Widow is set up. Panda is on the yellow building looking for picks. Genji's going to keep looking for him though, and Fucky with the first pick onto that guy Tyler. So now this is where you need to be aggressive if you're Oasis Esports. You have the pick, push in now. But it's not going to happen. Sinful is still in the backline, and he's not dead yet. He just cannot die. DCeals is the one being aggressive now. He's swinging hard, getting as much ult charge as he can. And he is bubbled, so this is it. This is the final push already. Look at this. This is passive play from Oasis because they're too scared of dying. Fucky gets picked. You're gonna have to commit sooner or later, Oasis. Here it is. DC's is holding up the shield, and Brickboy is so low. Buffy is just doing so much work with another pick now. Trimeter's going to go low, but probably not dead. So close. Yes, dead to Panda. So close to the ult as well. And Party Rooster will get one of his own, but it's not going to be enough. As we can see, the rest of Dynamicus are backing out.
Yeah, they need to be aggressive here.
recontest
They need to
winning.
chase them down and kill them. They can't let them stay alive. They need to make sure that they keep that advantage and they sort of drag them out. Remember, we're in overtime now, and spawns take longer to sort of come up. So Fluffy here has got to kill somebody, but it looks like here they've already established here on point B, and Tyler gets a kill on Pseudo, who's DMAC.
That's right, that's big. Fluffy's going down as well, so now we're going to see Dynamicus push in hard, and Trimeter's going to need help right now. That guy Tyler can't wait for Party Rooster. He needs to go out his dragons now if they're going to win this. Sinful gets a pick on a Bizzle, so these numbers are even-ish right now, but no, they get off the point. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Oasis there do get a point, but they don't get it really far out of the doorway, which is a very unusual location to sort of end the map. It's like 9 meters off of point A. They were trying to get aggressive there, and I appreciate what they were trying to do. But when Fluffy went down, unfortunately, that was not going to be good for them, as it just sort of opened them up and allowed EnvyUS to be aggressive. EnvyUS here just looking for little windows so when they can attack. I'm liking their aggressiveness because they've realized it's as if they can get a pick and they can just sort of swarm Oasis and just not give them any sort of space here to sort of deal with what's going on. And Oasis here just not getting together and being aggressive enough as a team to sort of commit to mistakes here by EnvyUS. They're doing it slowly but surely, but it might, I hope it just doesn't happen in map 4. I want it to happen like a little earlier here so that we can make sure that they can capitalize on some of EnvyUS mistakes and even sort of the advantages that they have. Their shot caller needs to make sure when they're up 2, when they're up 3, that the team gets hyper aggressive and finishes off the team to try to sort of split them off and not allow them to sort of get away and reestablish. This was what happened there on point B.
That's right, and that guy Tyler is going to be looking for a sneaky little flank. We don't have Azaria or any DPS ults to speak of coming out from Oasis, so they're not going to have that instant win button for fights that aren't going very well. And that guy Tyler's going to walk all the way around. He's going to try to pick off the Widow before the fight even starts. And even Sinful's in the backline right now. There's going to be peel from Pseudo though, and the rest of Oasis is going to drop down to the usual spot under the gate. Just poke for now as Sinful's trying to charge up his ult. He's looking for an opportunity to dive in, and now DCeals is going to be real aggressive. He's going to get very low though. He will live. The heal is there. The follow-up off tank is great. And Gripboy is holding very far up. This is good. This is what he needs to be doing. But the shield is going to go low, so he needs to start swinging real quick. And Tyler manages to knock him down. The shield, he put it down to recharge and got killed while it was down. Now Fluffy's alone. He's going to die as well. The Zen is doing so well with these discords, keeping everyone up, keeping the enemy team dead. And now Hamlin's low as well, will die. Panda's going to get a pick, but it's not going to be enough because the rest of his team is dead.
Yeah, there was just nothing they could do. Like, they were actually just pressing Oasis big time, and Britboy going down was just such a huge loss. He's going to try to stall them here as he charges right above the point, but ends up getting killed. And the point is right there.
Move.
Yeah, he just
I'm
tried
not sure why he charged in alone, but I respect the bravery. Big shout out just to finish off the Zen. Abyssal didn't have trance, probably wasn't going to live anyway, but I mean, may as well. And now it's just Mercy. He's going to go for a res. Interesting res, but what other choice do you have at this point? And that'll be a quick take.
Yeah, and EnvyUS there gets the win. I mean, it really only moved, what, 9 meters? So just because of the way it went. So unfortunately there, for Oasis, they couldn't give up anything. They couldn't give up point A. They needed to sort of put all of their eggs into one basket, and that was like the point A defense. Here's the 5K on that grab dragon as it gets everyone right there on the point.
Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. What an excellent grab dragon, and it's made better by the fact that he didn't miss it. I want to pay attention to Fluffy's 69% kill participation right there. That's pretty insane. And Triameter's 40% damage taken. I mean, those are some big numbers.
Yeah, those are huge numbers here. So, like, it was just another thing. So, slight little tweaks here again for EnvyUS. So that allows them to get over sort of Oasis here. So now they are up 2-0 here, and we are at halftime. So, Raza, thoughts here on this matchup here as we head into halftime between EnvyUS and Oasis?
I really think the match says it all. We're seeing some Overwatch of high quality, and it's getting better and better with every map. The ult usage is great, and I'm pumped for map 3.
Yeah, I am too. So like Numbani is what we're going to be going to next, and it's going to be a little bit more of the same, I think. So we're going to see some escorts here as teams are going to get ready and their lineups. When we come back after halftime, it will be Numbani as EnvyUS here leading the match with Oasis Esports 2-0. We'll be joining you back here in a couple minutes.
You know, the world could always use more heroes. You know, the world could always use more heroes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Halftime is over, and welcome to New Bonnie. It is EnvyUS here, up on Oasis Esports 2-0. EnvyUS showing their grit here. Actually,
There it is.
grit. There is grit. Winning both of these matches very, very close. It was 5-4 here on Dorado, and then 2-1 on Oasis. So this map could be 2-0 the other way for Oasis Esports. So both teams sort of duking it out, and we're probably going to see a close Dorado here, right, Raza?
I think you're absolutely right. This is going to be a close one. I mean, if the previous maps are anything to judge by, this will be a good one. And especially when we have T-comps like this, we have a dive with a Sombra going into a Deathball Farah. I mean, it's going to be a good one.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see, because I think the advantage here is going to be with the offense, and DCLs and Party Rooster here are going to have to try to pick up who I think would be the main targets, would be Grip and Hamlin. So they're going to try to figure out where both of them are going to be. Grip is probably going to position himself here in the back corner on the top right, unless they want to run the full death ball here and just run as a full 6. Where it looks like that's what they're going to be doing, because I think what's going to happen is Hamlin's going to be with Fuffy for most of the time here, and they're just going to try to rain on this dive. But the thing about it is that dive has the advantage against a pharmacy like this, because they can sort of focus on the 4 on the ground and not really worry about the Farah in the air, as long as they can just sort of eliminate 2 on the ground here super fast and make it an even fight.
That's right. Panda's going to have his work cut out for him protecting Zen, who is really far back, which is a great decision. And the dive is going to come through now. Don't EnvyUS is getting on that high ground. They're getting ready to push, and they're looking for a target. They don't want to dive the wrong person, which is very, very smart. And here it is. Sinful's going to throw some damage in it, and both the tanks now on the Mercy, who gets stuck. Grip goes down first. Hamlin's low as well, but it doesn't look like they're going to kill him. He is getting low, but not quite. Buffy gets a pick on Party Rooster in return. The focus isn't quite there now. Hamlin is totally safe. The dive target's gone, but Fuffy is just getting pick after pick. And that'll be a quick defense from Oasis.
Yeah, it is a quick defense from Oasis. Sinful trying to do anything that he can, sort of run away. It looks like Fuffy's just impaling him with rockets, but he's still alive. Look at him jump around there, sort of trying to survive there, and he's actually made it. So now he's actually alive here, so they weren't able to sort of stagger him. Sinful, I probably would have given up my body on that one, but enough skill to sort of he stay alive, make sure that he can get the rest of his team in. The dive looks like it's ready here to come back through the back, but it looks like Oasis here is ready as they send Tyler in to just sort of distract and gets a rocket to the face.
Look at that. That's rough. And the big shadow to follow up as well. Fuffy can kill after kill here. This is just brutal, and they're going to stack a Party Rooster surely. No, he's going to jump off the edge. He knows. DCLs is going to run. And again, the fight ended before it began.
Yeah, the dive here from EnvyUS is just not actually happening. What they're doing is they're sending Tyler on the point to sort of distract the death ball, to say, hey, look, I'm here on the point, come chase me. And they're not going for the bait. They're just saying, yeah, you can just go ahead and stand there. We're just going to let Fuffy shoot a rocket at you and kill you. So in the meantime, we're just going to take care of the rest of the people who are going to try to dive in and just not give you guys a chance at the point. And they've done that successfully twice now. So looks like here Sinful's actually changed up and has actually gone to the Farah instead of going to that Genji, so that maybe they're changing up their strategy a little bit. That's
a good choice. And Tyler's in the back. He's going to look for a big pulse bomb very soon. Grip Boy is already half, so we could kill him with a pulse bomb now if we wanted. Grip does go down, so the dive is succeeding. There it is. Grip Boy goes down to the pulse bomb, and Grip does get res, so now he's going to drop down, but he's going to get dived by the monkey. Unless he gets help, which he doesn't, he will die. Triumvir's going to use ult. They're going to commit to this. Fuffy uses ult as well to get 2 before he gets killed by that guy Tyler. Sinful's going to get his own, and as soon as they manage to kill this Mercy, the fight will be done. There's no way they can recontest.
Yeah, there's no way. I thought maybe they could go for the sense, but that res really just sort of shuts it off. Now, their whole key is to set up that defense here on point B, and maybe just sort of give themselves a little bit of time here. But you notice there just a little bit of strategy change here from EnvyUS, and they were able to sort of get point A there. But good job from Oasis there to sort of hold them off a little bit longer than probably that they should have. So only about 3:30 here on the point as a rally comes in, as they're trying to start getting them ready.
They're not letting them have that first corner. They're pushing up ahead, and the tanks are ready to dive already. They have a bunch of ults. Sudo's got his ult. He's probably going to wait for Fuffy to charge his, but no, he's going to throw it right at that. Is the transfer company weapon? No, it's the Diva Bomb. Look at that. It gets Fuffy. He is now dead. And now we have picks from both sides. The Reds will come through for Party Rooster, which is a big one. And Sinful's going to throw out his ult to hit nothing but air. Grip kills him in the middle of it. That was pretty rough. The payload is moving very slowly. It's just support on the payload. They're going to have to back out. D-Seals is going to yeet his way out. And that's it.
Great fire strike there at the end to take out Peppermint. And it was
That's
just one of the...
Great stagger.
Yeah, great stagger there. So now they're just going to buy off a little bit more time here. BritBoy being a combination of aggressive and just sort of making Peppermint make a decision. Do I keep attacking? Do I run with my team? And a great pulse bomb there, but gets nothing as they re-engage.
Maybe not so great. And the Pharmacy is looking for damage. D-Seals is low. He needs healing to stay alive. The Falcon does come out, but it's not going to be enough to keep D-Seals alive, unfortunately. There are 2 picks now on the side of Don't Envy Us, but still winnable. Maybe not so winnable now that Party Rooster has been demacked. And this is Battle of the Pharmacies right now. Panda with countering that Tracer so well. And throughout this entire fight, the payload has been moving. The fight is so far ahead of the payload that it just can be moved. Peppermint and D-Seals are the only ones moving it right now. Hamlin's been discord, but he won't die. D-Seals gets shattered. Now it's Peppermint, Sinful, and Party Rooster doing the best they can to keep this fight alive. Sinful does not have a mercy to keep him up right now, so he has to avoid taking damage and stay high in the air. Party Rooster is going to get destroyed, and this will be a reset for Don't Envy Us.
Yeah, look at the ults here from Oasis. Oasis has just been saving everything here. So the only person without an ult was BritBoy, who just used it just to sort of finish off the fight here. And now we're down to about 1:30, and this should be a hold here for Oasis Esports. They're not going to be able to sort of get this point relatively easy unless something happens really, really big here. Sinful gets a big barrage or something comes up, but it looks like here with this, the rally comes up, gives their team a little bit of extra armor, and now the engage comes in, and I hope
the grab is going to come through. There it is, and the barrage from Fluffy. The transfer let him mitigate most of the damage, so Fluffy just turns around and hits nothing. That's so unfortunate. Grip does manage to kill Sinful though. The ults have run out, and already is this a reset? No, D-Seals is trying to push in alone, but he's going to take a bit of damage. The rest of his team's not really full as well. He needs to put off that big old rectangle. But no, the Oasis won't let him get away with this. They want to take this fight now and prevent a second push. They will back down once they realize they're getting low. D-Seals is going to charge in, and Tyler jumps off the edge. Brave decision, maybe? Fluffy's going to put some damage out there, and this is not going great for Don't Envy Us right now.
Yeah, I think that was a mistake by Tyler. I think maybe he thought that the team was already resetting, so that he wanted to sort of reset with the rest of the team, but they're still sort of pushing here at the end as they're sort of engaging. Burst Shatter does get the back, but
Peppermint. That's crazy, and the grab has now come through, but there's nothing to combo with that, unfortunately. Pseudo might go down. He's getting real low, but the team will be healed by Hamlin, who's used the ult, and that's the Shadow. Pseudo and Grip both going down as soon as Hamlin gets the res off on Fluffy. That's so brave. That's interesting, but they're not going to be able to recontest this. They're going to have to back out because they don't have a main tank, and Don't Envy Us will squeak another point.
Yeah, 1:30 here left on the clock. They got to sweep a little bit more than that, EnvyUS, to actually get this final point, which is very, very hard to break. They're going to need a big team kill here, but with no ults, pretty much. It's only Peppermint with the Transcendence here. They're going to have to depend on their DPS here, so Tyler and Sinful have to come up big with that Hanzo and Soldier, but they're moving here. They're giving them a lot of this space. I'm surprised.
And Fluffy goes down because of it. Yeah. That is rough for Oasis, and now they're going to have to contest with 5 people. They have Grip's ult, and the Dragons come through from Tyler. He can't pick off anyone, but it does zone out real well. Sinful's going to use his as well. Both DPS ults now. Peppermint still holding on to that trance for some reason. That guy Tyler's going to get a pick. Half of his team's dead, so we have a brawl on point. Mean's going to go for the res, and he's going to get bumbled, so he doesn't manage to survive. But Tyler's getting pick off the pick right now. And there it is from Fluffy, the big off that hits nothing because he gets immediately killed, because that's what it's like being a Pharaoh main. And now Oasis is starting to push ahead. The grab comes through. BritBoy's going to charge through to look for a pick because he knows he can't swing through Peppermint's trance. It's not going to be enough though. He's going to get low. He's going to need a shadow if he wants to stay alive here, because the rest of the team is on point. And here's the shadow from BritBoy. There it is. Gets Tyler and Peppermint is not going to take any damage. And that guy Tyler will get bubbled. There it is. Peppermint finally goes down to the charge from BritBoy. And now D-Seals gets back though. He's getting kind of close to his own ult. He's going to charge it real fast when this ult comes with Party Rooster right now. D-Seals is going to swing, but he's going to get real low. If they can kill him now, that's real big for Oasis. But the Dragons come through to keep him up. So now D-Seals is very close to his shadow. They just have to keep him alive for a little bit longer. They might not even need it. Oh, they might. Fluffy is back with Hamlin. Fluffy goes down immediately. Hamlin's going to go for res, but gets destroyed by Sinful. Pseudo kills Tyler with his ult. And D-Seals finally dies 2% off of his ult. And now this is a brawl on point. This is winnable for either side right now. Panda's doing so much work just trying to spam, and the Coalescence is now out. D-Steals needs to get back real fast, but it's such a long walk, and Fluffy is so close to his ult, also almost there on each side. And Moira now doing so much healing. It's 1.53 meters until the point is capped, but no one's getting any kills. Finally, there they are. It's a rainbow in the kill feed, and it's so close to being capped right now. Neither side can see 9 this, or the match will be over very fast. And there's the Shatter. Rip is down, but can they kill him? Yes, they can, but oh, look at that. Panda's going to use the ult, but get shredded immediately. And Don't Envy Us is starting to get their mojo back, and they will take point 3.
Good lord.
Oh,
that was a fight there that just didn't end. Oasis needed to switch to a couple more higher DPS characters there at the end if they wanted to get that full hold. I was actually surprised because there was no Pharaoh on the other side. They just didn't go to like a Junkrat Reaper and just try to sort of overpower them there at the end, knowing that they were in overtime already. It's one of those times in which, because the spawn is so close, that you just need to get them off the point, and you need to have a couple characters that are able to do a crap ton of burst damage. And in that particular case there, based on what they were running, you could have gone to sort of a Reaper or a Junkrat or even a Doomfist just to sort of push them off the point and try to give yourself some space there at the very end, but they didn't, and it allowed EnvyUS to just basically sort of keep pushing and keep doing what they were doing, and they were able to sort of kill sort of members of Oasis there one at a time. That allowed them to sort of keep that payload moving and eventually winning the point. So they'll take
absolutely right.
Yeah, they're going to take a look at that bot, and they're going to see that fight at the end, and I'm thinking that they're going to just sort of say, hey, look, you know, this is what we should have done here, this is what we should have changed up a little bit here, and I think it'll be a good learning experience there, especially on the stalls on Umbani at the end. Even if you do change to a character that you're not very familiar with, but you're looking for that damage, you can just sort of just duck back in and switch right away, and then establish a defense that you can sort of you're sort of used to with a character that you're playing, because it is one of the closest spawns in all of the game. So
that's right, and we're going to see dive tanks coming out of Don't Envy Us, which is a great choice for the mobility. On the flip side, surely not. Yes, there it is. Fluffy's going to switch to Fire, and they're going to run the Orisa instead, which is a very brave decision. I'm not sure if this is going to work out very well, honestly.
Yeah, I'm wondering if... No, it looks like... There it is.
Okay.
Defend objective A.
Okey-dokey, and we have Oasis Esports looking like they might want to go main, which I think is a great decision if you're playing dive. Decision even. I know they're going to go up top. Fluffy's looking for just some easy shots for some more charge. He knows now there is no hit scan, and all the way around they will rotate. Oasis finally dives onto the high ground, but there's no one there. There's no one there for the dive, so Pseudo's going to get real low because they're just taking poke damage on the other side. Sinful's taking the Discord orb, but there's no one to put damage into him right now. And this is a full rotation all the way around. They're just going to walk into the opponents. Monkey dives in, but Deep is facing the wrong way, so Ripboy's going to die immediately. And now it is Party Rooster's turn to overextend and die. That's one tank from each side, so this is easily winnable for either side right now. There are no ults at all to speak of. Pseudo's turn to overextend and die. Who's going to be next? Fluffy is up top, putting some damage in, and Grip gets the final blow on Peppermint. Rez will come through. There's no one to stop that, unfortunately. And we have kills coming through from both sides, but right now it is a brawl on point. The target focus is not there for either team. It's just crazy right now. Extreme Meme is going to go down. Both teams are on 1 health, but Panda's the one coming in, collecting 2 kills of his own. Sinful kills himself, unfortunate, Panda with a 3rd. And this point is going to get capped relatively fast by Oasis Esports.
You know, I got to give that fight to Britboy, honestly, because what was going on... Oh, they're staggering Party Rooster. Oh, poor guy.
They wanted to for a second before they realized you can't stagger.
Yeah, you can't stagger onto a point. So I give that fight to Britboy only for the reason that he ended up actually taking out both Panda and Hamlin all in the same rotation. So he was actually chased the Genji down. Actually, excuse me, takes out... it was Sinful who was on the Genji, or Tyler, excuse me, on the Genji, takes him down, then takes out Extreme Meme, who was actually on the way trying to sort of keep the team up, and that actually kept the fight going and ended up winning it for them. Britboy now gets killed by overextending and running into D-Seals and Sinful. So
that is unfortunate. And now we have the ults coming up for each side now. We have both DPS ults for Don't Envy Us, and we have both DPS ults for Oasis. I think that D-Seals wants to be charging up his Shadow real fast, and that's the D-Bomb that won't get anything, unfortunately. They're going to throw a bunch of ults out either side, but neither of them are going to get much. Grip does get down, but that is resable, and he will be res. Brookboy's going to use his ult just to try to cause some chaos, but he's going to get real low. Pseudo as well, and there's the chance. finally, Peppermint's going to use their trance. Probably the first time it's a match. No shade. And the kills are all coming up down EnvyUS right now.
Yeah, Peppermint didn't use the trance because Peppermint was waiting for for the blade to come out. So that was what was actually going on there. So yeah, so Peppermint like basically subscribing to the I'm not going to pull out my trance unless I absolutely need to strategy, and it worked out, especially on that fight because like she didn't need or Peppermint didn't actually need to actually do that. But now a big ult here by Sinful takes both.
Wow, he
Grip
will
and
die
Panda.
for it.
Yeah.
But it might have been worth it for those 2 picks.
Good trade, yeah.
It's
You're absolutely right.
a little bit of a BM to, you know, ult the Widowmaker as far.
Yeah, a little bit of
And
BM, but you know, if you're a Pharah, that Widowmaker's going to get the better of you for most of the time anyway. So
You
might
can
as
take
well
what you can get.
take what you get.
That's it. And the Party Wrist is slowly coming up on his grab there. He's putting in a lot of random damage, and he's probably going to get it at some point for this fight. And Hamlin has left the game, so we will see a pause right now as Oasis' Mercy has disappeared. It looks like
They need to disengage. There we go. That's it. So the pause has to happen during the disengage here. So that's what is going on. So let me just take you to a transition image. So there we go. Yeah, so we're here in a transition image here. So with what is going on is we're going to have to wait. Who was it? That was Hamlin. That they lose their mercy. So
Hamlin need mercy. Yes.
Yeah. So losing their mercy is going to be big here for Oasis. So they definitely need Hamlin to come back.
I do think that Hamlin also had Valk as well.
Oh, that sucks. If that actually happened, then that is terrible. So like them losing an ult there at the very end, but Grip still has the Transcendence there. So unfortunately, so at least they'll have one support ult still ready to go, and Fuffy with an ult there is able to sort of do something there too. So hopefully that doesn't actually bite them in the ass too much. But it looks like here we're going for the rules, so therefore it is a 5-minute pause only. So if we go over 5 minutes, the referee will have to restart this game, and they will have to end up playing Numbani 6v5, which is sort of yeah.
Oh, unpause. Okay, I thought you were going to restart the map. I got very confused. So Hamlin is back in spec, maybe? I don't know. All right, so we're getting geared up to go again. Hamlin's back in. Every time I read the name, I want to say Hamlet. It's getting to me in a mental deep level.
So I think of it as the Pied Piper of Hamlet. So
okay.
Yeah, so you know, imagine Hamlin whistling his way to healing people and leading the rats out of Ireland. Or snakes. It's snakes out of Ireland.
Wait. The Pied Piper?
Pied Piper of Hamlin. So the story goes that if I remember the story right, he took a whistle. The reason that snakes don't exist on Ireland is because the Pied Piper of Hamlin led them off the island and they never came back.
Is this the same Pied Piper that took all the rats out of the city and then came and got the kids after they wouldn't get paid by the king or whatever?
I don't know. That could be true.
I feel like we have some very different recollections on what the story is. But we are back. Hamlin is back in. And Oasis will be gearing up to push again. Party Rooster almost has that grab. They want to be using it this fight, so he's trying to charge it up as fast as he can. He's taking a bit of damage to do so as well, but it's worth it if you can get it. But it's suited with the first pick. So now they really want to win this fight with 5v6 if they can by using the grab. Party Rooster, it's all on you. That guy Tyler is playing a little bit further back, but look at that shatter. It gets 4 and ults from either side. Look at that. Party Rooster gets another one. Grip's going to use the trance to stay alive, and that's going to give Trimeter the room he needs to get the res off. Not Trimeter. Hamlin, my bad. And Party Rooster is going to go down, and that was a really great set of ults from Fuffy and Grip there.
Yeah, very good stuff there. Good combination, and Grip there with the Transcendence actually saved that game for him, because that Transcendence allowed Hamlin to do the res in and get Britboy back up, as well as just sort of keep them pushing forward. And now they have 3:18 here on the clock, so they want to make sure that they get some time here if they can finish, because they could actually squeak out a win here if they're able to sort of keep pushing up, and they get Sinful here on the attack, so they need to be aggressive. 6v5 right now.
Yeah, they can take this right now, and they're getting very close to that grab. They want to be using that soon, so he's going to be using his shadow this fight, and they'll use the grab the one after. Look at that, there's the grab dragon. It sucks in a bunch. Ooh, that's going to hurt. Now it's just the pharmacy who are going to yeet their way out as fast as they can. It's going to get picked off by Simple.
Yeah, that's not...
That was a grab dragon that... I don't know if that was necessary.
I don't know either. Maybe they could have probably saved that if they got farther out, because maybe they could have won that fight. But now, if you look at it here, it looks like the grab for Pseudo is ready, and it'll be a matter of trying to get Panda up to the Dragon also for them to win the game. It'll be a race between Panda and Fuffy to see who can get their ult up first. I think.
I think Fuffy's gonna win it.
Yeah.
But Britboy's going to try to use his Shadow as soon as they can get the shield down from D-Seals, and it's already real low. It's going to break any 70 up. There's the Shadow, and it only gets the Reinhardt, who's going to get immediately charged into, and this is where the aggressiveness is going to matter. The grab comes through, but there is a ult from Peppermint. Wow, Peppermint, that's his second trance. Beautiful. And Brawl on point, his picks are coming out on both sides. There are no ults right now to speak of, but Buffy is getting close. Simple is dead, but he will have his soon if he gets back. And there's the counter Shadow to take down Britboy and Pseudo, and they will both die. Yes, they will both die. The Discord was too much for the Mercy Pocket to get through.
Yeah, and it looks like here that they didn't wait on the grab, so they used it to sort of bait out to get the Transcendence out. I don't know if that was such a great use right there, because you see Fuffy and Panda both almost. Fuffy's already got his ult, but Panda's already at 85%. So they're gonna need this. They're gonna need a grab here to sort of win it, unless they can get a lucky placement on the Dragon, or that ult from Fuffy can sort of sneak around and actually get him here in the back. But they're engaging again with only a minute left.
Dragons right now. It's gonna happen. Party Rooster. Here it is. There it is. There's the grab dragon, and he doesn't. But he only gets one. They had a pick before the grab dragon came through, so maybe again it was the timing was tad off.
And Pseudo here is already at 50%. If Pseudo can get that grab off, they'll still have a chance here. So like you can do. The fastest I've anybody seen ever get to their ult is 20 seconds as a Zarya. So what Pseudo needs to do is sort of get into the fight there with Britboy, basically be right next to him, and just basically try to build up as much energy as you can, so that you can sort of maximize here what you can do.
And here it is, and Britboy's getting close to his ult. He's going to want to use that, and they're going to initiate with the trance, as Buffy won't. He will get headshotted even through the trance. The headshot's too much damage. That was a swift and aggressive push. And now it's just going to be resetting for EnvyUS. They have the chance to win this, but they need to do it with the Valk and Sinful. They're going to try to contest at the very last second, if they can even touch. Brian's going to have to charge on right now if he wants to make it there in time. And there's the Dragon coming out. Who can he get? Hammer down, gets D-Seals. He's on his own, and Sinful gets one pick, but is it going to be enough? It might be if Peppermint's going to help him out with a couple of picks of his own. Grips on the cart, trying to do the best he can with a Zarya bubble. Meanwhile, Britboy has been res, and there's the trance now from Peppermint, just to keep his team alive through this push. Britboy is swinging hard, and Pseudo uses the ult, so now Britboy is going to swing. He's going to charge his ult extremely fast with this rate if he doesn't die first. He's got the Shadow, he's going to use it right now. There it is, but he misses completely. He doesn't get anyone. That's so unfortunate, and he goes for charge. He gets eliminated immediately by that guy Tyler, and now it's Simple just throwing out shurikens as fast as he possibly can, and this fight looks like it might be going the way of EnvyUS. Pseudo's doing the best he can to stay alive. D-Seals is D-Mac though, so maybe not. The comeback is here. Pandaface is putting out bullet after bullet. No bullets. Arrows. He's a Hanzo. He gets the headshot on Pseudo. Panda's going to get his own. This is Hanzo's getting kill after kill right now. And finally though, it looks like the respawns might be in the favor of EnvyUS. The res comes through for Peppermint. The whole team is here to knock out the Hanzo and the Lucio. The Lucio and the Hanzo both go down just in time for Britboy to get back. The switch to Lucio gets point faster. It's not going to be enough. He is killed, and that's the map.
And EnvyUS take the series here 3-0. So as we get into Temple's not going to matter, but good job there by them on the final point. Britboy here with the play of the game. He does get, I think this is this one of those big shatters here at the end? No, this is him.
Just swinging that hammer.
Killing the, look at where the Mercy position, trying for the res, and he gets the Mercy right as the Mercy was rezzing. Good stuff.
That's rough. If you're Mercy, that's gonna feel bad.
And Britboy seeing the joy in that, being able to sort of hammer down as best he can. Mercy trying to res. So unfortunately for EnvyUS, oops. So we're gonna have to switch the overlays here. So
they have been 0-3'd. I was expecting a map 5 today, but I'll take what I can get. It's been very close so far.
Yeah, I think it has been close so far, but we're going to go into Temple here as both teams here switch up sides as we go through the final map. EnvyUS do take the series, but it will be a matter of map differential because it is super important for us to know exactly like what the map differential is because both teams here in that sort of mid zone of like, bubble teams of whether or not they can sort of qualify for the playoffs or not. So it'll be super, super important with regards to, in the end, whether or not they can take a map here off of EnvyUS. 3-1 is a huge difference than a 4-0 because you only lose 2 points as opposed to losing 4. So stay tuned. We're going to go to Temple of Anubis here, and it is already, though, unfortunately, a EnvyUS 3-0 win here over Oasis Esports, but we're going to try to see and find out if Oasis can get a final map off of them on Temple of Anubis. We will be right back.
The world could always use more heroes.
Welcome back, and it is our final match, final map of the day. It is going to be Temple of Anubis. So for
Everyone's favorite map.
everyone's favorite map but unfortunately for Oasis, they have lost their previous 3 maps. So the series will go to EnvyUS here, but it'll be a matter of whether or not they can get a point here off of EnvyUS, which will be huge because every map you win is going to count into your final tally. So hopefully here Oasis has a chance to actually get Temple of Anubis here, and they maybe EnvyUS sort of resting up, not trying as hard, know that they have the series won, and maybe are trying something experimental. That would be what I would be hoping for Oasis
That's
here.
right. And anyone can win on Anubis here. It's really a free for all. But we're gonna see a pretty standard comp coming out of EnvyUS here at least.
Yeah, so it looks like the pulled pork is what we're seeing, right?
That's it, pulled pork. Send out those little wrist sucky balls and get a big hook in there. That's the plan. Sinful's gonna zone off the entirety of the right room there, so Oasis will be forced to push left. And look at this, they're going for the GOAT strategy again. 3 tanks, 3 supports. They're gonna try to yeet their way through, play very aggressively.
I like it.
Good luck to them. Yeah.
Attackers incoming.
So yeah, the idea here is if you know you're going to get shut off going to the left, and I think they see Sinful already, the GOAT strategy is pretty good here for taking the high ground and just sort of going up there and surviving.
That's right, and they're going to just push all the way through. Gripply is so low, he's going to get a bit of healing from Buffy, but he's going to need more than that if he's going to stay up. Already the team is split up. Abyssal went the wrong way. He thought they were going straight to point, so he got left behind. Now BritBoy's alone. Zero cohesion right now from Oasis, and BritBoy's going to suffer for it. That was rough. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Bad play, bad grouping. And Warrior's going to jump on point. They're going to take a 5v6 anyway. They must be real confident in their abilities right now, especially given they have no target focus. This might be a bad decision, and Abyzal's going to get punished for it. Who's next? Skeleton's next. Who's next? It's going to be someone on Oasis. I can feel it. It's going to be Fuffy goes down. This is quick play right now for Don't Envy Us. This is just fun.
Yeah, unfortunately they were stuck. They had two choices really, right? I mean, like, all they could really do was either drop down and try to take the fight 5v6, or find a way to get cover in the back corner and just try to sort of hold off as best they can. And now with BritBoy finally coming in, he ends up getting killed, and it's going to stall out their push a little longer. So they're just sort of stuck here, and this is just going wrong for Oasis. So
nothing is going right. And
no.
Next push, they're going to get tied in the face as soon as they try to move. It's going to be hard.
Yeah, and it's just sort of compiling the sort of damage to them, right? I mean, like, by them going in and just allowing sort of Sinful to do what he can do on the Junkrat here, and it's just going to prevent them from happening. But big kill there.
No tire.
No tire.
That's it. And Tyler's going to lose the 1v1 to Panda as well. Panda says, alright, I'm done. Let's go. Gets 3 picks of his own. Sinful's back now. He wants that Widow and he gets it. But is it going to be enough? Panda got so many picks. Again, BritBoy's going to start moving in. He's pressing the wrong key. Press the W1. There it is. And he's going to charge in. He's going to get the Zen. That was it. The fight has been opened up by Panda. Now BritBoy's going to finish it off with the picks on both of the healers. It's just Sinful and Party Rooster who are using ults. For some reason, they think they can win this. Maybe they can. Look at that. Party Rooster, big one. Widow's trying to knock him out, but he's going to heal himself up. He's going to stay alive a little bit longer. The res does come through for BritBoy, though. He has Shadow if worse comes to worse, but they're not going to need it. D-Seals is going to contest. Not very long, unfortunately. He will be... No, he uses his ult. He's going to probably switch to Reinhardt for next point after wasting that, I do believe. Party Rooster is now on the Zarya. And that was a great push by Panda and BritBoy.
Yeah, that was all on the back of Panda. Getting those kills, I think he just had enough of EnvyUS' shenanigans there coming onto the point. That big kill on Sinful there, just not allowing him to get the tire on the initial engage was so big. If he had actually popped the tire like 2 seconds earlier and was able to stop that push, we could have been looking at a full hold here from EnvyUS, but instead it was Oasis going to have a chance here on point B.
That's right, BritBoy's going to walk in and Shadow. There it is. He gets the... That's it. Sinful's going to protect his Rhyme, but is it going to be enough? Skeleton's trying to look for something, but is going to get immediately DMA'd. The Dragons come through looking for anything, but he didn't aim those very well because he's not going to get anything with disappointment. The ult is going to come out from Peppermint regardless, though, just to try to keep his team alive. Might not be necessary, but it does end the fight.
Yeah, it absolutely ends the fight. And the thing about it was, this is all about fight recognition at this point. So Oasis, if I am them, anytime I see BritBoy go down, I just reset. Because there's really, it's going to be super hard for you to win a fight 5v6 on the point with spawns that close. So it's about recognizing what is going on around, and losing like a big component like BritBoy or even BritBoy or Hamlin is immediate sign for immediate reset. Unless they can get like a big ult or something like that. So you just don't want to keep sort of dragging on this point and just sort of feeding ult percentage to the other team. You want to make it concise and short as possible if you're the attacking team. Because,
that's right, and
yeah.
Speaking of feeding ult charge, Party Rooster is already at 75%. The Dragons is going to come out from Tyler though, so they're not going to have the Grab Dragon combo, and that's big, especially given that Bruce is at 80%, but it won't matter probably because Abyssal gets killed with his trance. That'll be a reset. Look at Oasis as they try to yeet out as fast as they can. It's not going to be enough. BritBoy is going to go down, and as you said, they'll use that chance to reset.
Yeah, they use that chance to reset, and that kill on Sinful isn't really that big, and Fuffy goes down too. So like they've got to be super careful here as they're resetting. They don't want to stand in any of the open sight lines. They don't want to get picked off right before they come back in, because every time they do that, it's just going to cost them time on the clock.
That's right, and they're going to be looking to use the Shadow this fight. D-Seals is looking for a big Shadow. They're going to try to drop the trance, and then they're going to grab Dragon afterwards. But the bomb has come through, and it's going to pick off no one. Party Rooster gets a lot of charge off it though, and BritBoy dies immediately. The trance comes in about 20 seconds too late. There's that Shadow. The trance is not going to be enough. Oh, he does block the charge from Skeleton. Skeleton, yes. Good work there, Bizzle. He will die for it though, unfortunately. And yet another reset. Sinful goes down, but that shouldn't matter.
So that was actually a set play there from Oasis. So the key there was Britboy charging in onto the shield as soon as the bomb was about to land, and he just missed the charge, because if he had actually hit it, the shield would have not been there, and the rest of the team would have gotten blown up. So unfortunately, they were going for something a little different there at the end there, and it was just timed just a smidge off. Britboy actually got only a little bit of the shield, but it was just enough to keep that sort of shield.
Here's the grab dragon. Here's the grab dragon. Party Rooster wants it. There it is. That's 3 in the grab. They don't need the dragons though. They can use them anyway. But the damage output was just so much that it didn't matter. And look at that, Panda's going to try to yeet his way out of the point, and he will probably make it. Yes, with the help of the Mercy, he will escape.
Yeah, at this point, they need Panda again. They need Panda to sort of open up that entry once they're sort of getting in. They're not getting any picks on the Widow as of right now, and they really do need to lean on their DPS as to what's going on. Fuffy here with the Dragon 2 maybe can split the team as they engage in, and maybe they can sort of turn it into a 3v6 on one side of the point. But
that's right. Britboy's going to shadow right now. There it is, and he gets Party Rooster, and that's it though. Tyler gets a pick while the Dragons are coming through, but that's the counter shadow as well with a big charge to follow up, and the picks are all coming up. EnvyUS.
Yeah. It looks like 1:15 here left on the clock, and they're running out of ideas, and they're completely out of ults. So Oasis here have to, yeah, they're out of everything at this point. So they really do need to get Fuffy and Panda need a kill here. There's really nothing you can say about it. So like,
this is the point in the anime where their spirit and determination overcome all obstacles. Hodo, so get ready. This is going to be the big push. You see that that rally and that trance? That doesn't mean anything compared to the amount of spirit that we're about to see coming out of Oasis Esports. Britboy's going to walk in real aggressively. He's done, pushed back, and there's the trance. They're going to charge in. Britboy's looking for something. He doesn't hit anything. He's just going to swing that hammer and charge up his shatter as soon as he can. That is the game played right now. He will die though. It looks like Spirit is not doing the job as that guy Tyler gets 3 picks in a row. This is not an anime, folks. This is real life. And that's going to be it. Panda's not even going to try and contest. He's just going to yeet his way out, and he's surrendered to reality.
I think he knows. The rest of his team are coming back. With 6 seconds left, he would have had to be on the point there, but he would have just been sacrificing ult charge. He's going to try for it, though. See if they can get the monkey on. No, unfortunately not. It's reminiscent of that scene in Haikyuu where they're sitting all eating, sort of eating their sushi, crying, knowing that they've sort of given up a good chance. And even though they tried their hardest, unfortunately, they were unable to get point B. So all that is left now is for EnvyUS to get a tick on point B. So Oasis here still has a shot though, so don't get me wrong on any of the on the anime stuff. They could come out with a 4-minute hold here and actually still win this point 1-0. So they've got to have
absolutely right.
Yeah, they have to make sure that they get a solid defense here and prevent EnvyUS from coming through. So so it's not over yet, folks. So don't worry about that. Point B is also notoriously difficult for anybody to sort of complete, and you see professional teams don't even complete it sometimes. So it's going to be one of those things in which hopefully Oasis here can sort of set up. They want to make sure the key here is to not let Britboy die super fast. They've got to make sure that their tank stays up and they can fight behind him and let Panda and Fuffy do their jobs in order for them to sort of kill off whatever comes through on EnvyUS, as it looks like it's going to be a dive here. So like
that's right.
They're going to be diving onto the point, and their target is going to be either one of the tanks or one of the supports, and they just can't let any of them go down here. They have to take out whatever they can take out initially here and just try to sort of stay up as best as they can. And that'll be their key here for surviving. So
I'm not listening to the comms, but if I'm willing to bet you any amount of money that in Oasis Esports comms right now, we have the team captain over there giving a very motivational speech, and I think that's what's going to push them over the edge to really break their limits and go all out. So this is going to have to be a big dive if they're going to take it, but it's going to be hard with Fuffy on that Junkrat. I really want to say Fluffy. It's very difficult.
Yeah, Fuffy on that Junkrat here has got to sort of basically make sure that he sort of locks off that right side. Don't allow them to come in, or at least get a lot of damage as they're coming through, and just don't allow a clean engage here, and allow some early picks here from Panda. Their best friend here is spam damage and just making sure that they don't get a clean engage, as it looks like It looks like Sinful here trying to sort of sneak around the back, and he's going. Oh, look at this!
Brave choice. He's going all the way
All the way
around.
around.
He's going to be looking for healers, but no, unfortunately, Abyssal saw him, so he has been seen. He has been discorded, and he's still going for it though. Look at that Panda with a big picker on Triameter, and Sinful's all the way in the back. He's forcing the rest of EnvyUS back to the point, which sets up that guy Tyler for a big pick. And now, as soon as the Mercy's back, which she is, you can start pushing. Sinful's got EnvyUS right where he wants them. So now it's up to DCLs and Party Roosters to get a big dive in there right now. Bizzle's alone on point. Sinful's going to go for him. Or not. He's going to put damage into the shield. Good decision making, Genji.
So
There it is. Panda's going to try to take the 1v1 there as well. And Sinful is one. Can Panda do it? Panda's also one. No! Sinful gets the pick. And now this is where the dive needs to come through. The Monkey gets charged. He's going to get real low. The Diva's there to help him too. He's not going to be destroyed, unfortunately, for them. But that guy Tyler gets his own pick on Abyssal, who was getting kind of close to his old Party Rooster as well. Now the aggressiveness is there. That's the dive. Fluffy is kind of low. They're going to take him out next, and they will. And look at that. Oasis Esports will be not Oasis. Is it Oasis?
EnvyUS. EnvyUS.
I think that I have been like miscasting these names the entire match.
So it looks like EnvyUS here is going to take point A, and now all they really do need is a tick. So they don't have very many ults, but ults are building up. Party Rooster is going to get that bomb here, probably in the middle of the engage. And the person we're going to watch out for is Sinful, because he's almost at his blade here, and he can really open it up here for EnvyUS. And so therefore, like, they want to make sure that they can get him down right away.
And here it is. The Valve's going to come through as well, just to keep him alive. Party Rooster trying to get his ult before he dies, and Sinful goes down to the dragons. That is such a shame for EnvyUS right there. I mean, this push is going to be over because of that. They just can't contest this, missing the DPS, and they invested 2 ults into that. That's rough.
Yeah, very rough, and it's going to be very, very difficult for them, at least in the short term, because really the only ults they're going to have are Tyler, Party Rooster, and Peppermint here. 2 of them is a passive ult that is going to sort of need it, but Tyler gets a kill on Fluffy there, so that's big. So maybe they get something out of that, but I'm not exactly sure. But Tyler then goes down and 5-5.
He can be rezzed. Mercy's looking for it. Mercy doesn't get the res off, gets booped. That feels bad, and I feel angry for you, Triameter. I understand. And he's going to switch off to Hanzo anyway, so interesting trade-off. Skeleton is getting close to his grab. At his current rate of ult charge, he'll probably have it in about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes. So we should be able to see the Gravity Dragon come out this push or next push.
Well, actually, they're right there at each other, so they're probably going to bank on that. I mean, hell, they could probably use Fluffy's Tire also. Really depends on whether or not they think that Peppermint has a trance, and Peppermint does have the trance. So they want to overwhelm the damage as much as they can on the Graviton.
Here's the Tire, the Diva. Both supports. That is massive coming out from both sides now. The Monkey ult as well, because why not? Why not commit to the lost fight? Everyone's going to die. That was unfortunate. And that was a very big clear out of ults from both sides.
Yeah, there it is. And Peppermint didn't, and there was no use for Britboy for using his Earth Shatter there. So still ults available from both sides here. So looking like Party Rooster now going to the Diva to see if they can sort of do anything there. But Skeleton still not having that Graviton, still building it sort of slowly here, as both Fuffies are now switched to the McCree. Very interesting. Trying to see if he can get some like long range picks, maybe.
Panda's been winning this 1v1 against Tyler over and over again. He's really coming in clutch for his team when it matters. Finally, we'll probably be seeing the Grab Dragons this push. Panda's trying to get as much ult charge as he can, as fast as he can, because he knows it's going to be all on them for this push here. Meanwhile, Party Roost is still on 10%. So if you're EnvyUS, you can just take a few economy pushes, build up the ults, and then win it with the Grab Drag, basically.
That's essentially, you're probably right. So they're going to sort of charge on in here, and maybe this will be a dry push. And they're going to try to lure out ults here from Oasis.
Ooh,
that's
Hamlin goes down. Panda needs to charge his ult right now if they're going to get this Grab Dragon off. Skeleton is going to use it right now. Skeleton, you need to use the grab. Grab. No, Skeleton's going to die with the grab, which is massive. So now that's going to be it.
Yeah. They were just unable to sort of hold it off. The problem was that they weren't able to sort of get that Grav Dragon off, which is what needed them to sort of save the point.
Skeleton, you had the Grav. Why?
Yeah, and
That's
I think
unfortunate for
what
us.
it was is I think it was the fact that Tyler was behind and just sort of.
Yeah, I think that was just. I think it was a very tough fight, and I completely understand miscommunications happening. But quintuple kill. That was such a great match. Big 4-0, but don't let the scoreline fool you. It was not that one-sided of a match at all.
No, no, it wasn't. I mean, we might be talking as if that was a really hard map there for Oasis, and it was pretty bad. But all the maps leading up to this point could have gone the other way. They were so close. I mean, especially on Oasis itself, on Numbani, and even on was it Dorado? So like they took it to a 5-4 Dorado. So nothing against Oasis there. They fought really really hard, and it was just unfortunately there at the end they had to defend from one tick, which is really really hard and impossible for most teams to do. So unfortunately that's it. So it's 4-0 from EnvyUS. Final thoughts here, Raza, on the match itself.
It was a great match, great players. I'm glad that I got to scope this one out so I can, because I'm playing Oasis Esports next Tuesday, Deadlock Gang. So it's good to get a little bit of scouting done. If you're watching this, be scared, guys, because we're going to take you down. But that was a really fun match to watch, very close. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed our casting today.
Yeah, and that's going to do it for me and for Raza and for our match referee and host, PB4U Leave, whatever his name, PB4U Leave. For them and
P
for
before
us,
you leave. P before you leave.
P before you leave. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Finally.
So no interviews here for BitBoy. Unfortunately, we're just going to let him know. So there are no interviews for the end of this match. I unfortunately have to go to bed and go to work tomorrow. So unfortunately, I can't take any extra time. For Raza and for P before you leave, I am Hodo. This is a final EnvyUS defeat Oasis Esports 4-0. Have a good evening, and thank you for joining us today. I will be casting again on Tuesday, and hopefully I will be casting at the 9 o'clock match. That will be between, I think, Oasis and Deadlock Gang, Raza. So I think you are putting the request in now. So that could be the match I will be casting, but check your local listings on Tuesday night. I will be casting again. So for Raza and for P before you leave, I am Hodo. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.